guys, just a short video upload today. This isn't a full cutting edge video today. This is just a little experiment we're doing today with composite materials. And we're looking for the cosmetic properties of certain composite materials. Now, as a lot of you know, the BTLX signature look, a lot of that involves carbon fibre. Carbon fibre, the big advantage is its stiffness, it's lightweight, and it's got great audio properties. And of course, it looks awesome. It looks amazing, so it does. So, that's great for the instruments. That's exactly what we want for the musical instruments. But we want to start making our own hard cases. And the hard cases are actually better made out of fiberglass than carbon fibre. Fiberglass is stronger than carbon fibre. A lot of people mix it up. They think stiffness, strength, they think it's the same thing. It's actually not. Stiffness is resistance to bending. Strength is resistance to impact. So we want the cases to be as strong as possible. But we also want to have that carbon fibre look. But carbon fibre has a drawback. It's wild expensive. So to try and keep the cost of the cases down, we don't actually need all the properties of carbon. The only property from carbon fibre we need is the look. So to keep the cost down, I'm looking for an alternative material for the cases, the guitar cases, that I can use, which has the same look as carbon fibre. Now I have got a couple of materials here, which I'm going to experiment with. One I'm very hopeful with, one I have mixed feelings about, and one I am almost 99% certain is going to be a failure. So without further ado, let's have a look at the three materials. So these are our materials for the experiment. The first one, of course, is real carbon fibre. This is our control. It has a unique look, all of its own, which is what's going to make it so hard to create a looky-like. It has a certain refractive index that just the light loves to play with, and it looks beautiful. That's why we use it. Well, that's part of why we use it. The second one, and this is the material that I have the best hopes for, is something called diolin, or diolin, or as you can see, it has a very similar twill weave to carbon fibre. Looks very like carbon fibre, but it's not as shiny. Bit of dust on there. It's not as shiny, doesn't reflect the light in quite the same way. But I'm hoping that once it's got resin on it, once it's wetted out with resin, it will. The third one, which I'm not quite as hopeful about, is glass fibre. Plain glass fibre twill. Again, if you have a look, it's got the same sort of twill weave as carbon fibre. And it's reflective as well, but it's the wrong colour. It's white. Good thing about fiberglass is when it gets wetted out, it becomes effectively transparent and any colours underneath will shine through. So, we're going to have a black substrate under this one. And it's going to be black lycra. Black lycra is a standard part of our micarta blend. So that's our own composite material. Okay, and it includes lycra. I'm not telling you the other materials in there because it's our own, but we're going to use the lycra to carry the black substrate through. And the final one, which I have very little hope for, is carbon fibre vinyl wrap. Again, it's a cheap substitute for carbon fibre, and I don't hold out a lot of hopes for it, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's get on with this then. So first things first, let's get the epoxy mixed up. Now this can be done with polyurethane or epoxy, but I don't have an open bottle of a pure polyurethane at the moment, but I do have an open bottle of epoxy, and I'm reluctant to open a full brand new bottle for just an experiment, so we're going to run with epoxy. So we don't need too much, just going to mix up a little bit. This needs to be mixed on a 2-to-1 ratio. So we'll go approximately 30 grams of the epoxy and 50 grams of the hardener. Okay, well maybe slightly over on the hardener, but that just means it'll cure a little bit quicker. Scales out of the way and mix thoroughly. So let's get a little bit of a coating of the resin down here. You see that, yeah? Just got to stick it down, make it sticky, that's all. Give it all something to stick to. And let's get a pair of gloves on before it gets too messy. Putting these on, I always feel like I'm about to perform surgery, or I feel like I should be telling somebody to bend over and brace themselves. About to give somebody an examination. Oh, Mr. Buttcheeks, what have we found here? Alright, let's get this laid down and on here. So it doesn't have to be too neat or straight. As I say, we're just trying to make a flat substrate. And that is pretty much perfect. I'm going to get another layer of resin over the top of that, just to wet the whole thing out. Remember, we don't want the resin too thick between the layers of the composite. Our thick layer of resin is going to be the cosmetic top layer. But what we want here is enough to wet it through, make it stick, make everything adhere, and give us that black to shine through all the different materials. Okay, so of course we want a coat of resin over the vinyl, so we'll put our top coat on there to start with. Straight away you can see that the vinyl isn't as black as we would like it to be. It's got a charcoal grey sort of colour, and I'm not so sure that the carbon fibre texture is going to shine through on that. So let's get the actual carbon fibre down. So this is our carbon fibre. Let's get that laid down on there. Let's get the dialing laid down. There's our dialing fabric. Let's get that laid down. And let's get our glass fibre fabric laid down. And the glass fibre is the one that we need to get wetted through the most seriously, because we need that colour of that black to shine through. So let's get on that straight away with a coat of resin. Let's get it tapped down, get it wetted all the way through. And just let's let that soak there for a bit. Next up, we'll do the carbon fibre next. Again, it's losing a little bit of its luster, but it's because the resin's wet. Once that resin cures, it'll pick up its luster again. And the one that I'm really curious about is the dialing. Okay, so as soon as I've applied the resin to the dialing, it seems to be losing a lot of its pattern instantly. Which is a shame, because I had high hopes for that. But when the resin cures, you don't know what's going to shine through, do you? So let's just keep tapping it down to make sure it's wetted thoroughly. Okay, there's a lot of bubbles in this resin as well at the minute, so once they all pop, we should have a different look to it. The glass just isn't blackening at all, is it? I mean, it's going slightly opaque, slightly transparent, but that colour just isn't coming through the way I hoped it would. Let's see if we can get some of these bubbles burst. Hang fire with me a second, I'm just going to fetch the heat gun. and partially wrecked the workshop in the process. So let's move that back a bit. Get this plugged in. We'll get the camera lowered down a bit so you can get a better view of them. And let's see if these bubbles burst. Well, now I don't know if you can see it, but the bubbles have burst in the dial in, and that's forced the resin to soak in quite a bit. So I'm going to put another surface layer on there. And we'll get that heat gun on there again on a low setting. See the bubbles all starting to burst again. It's still very much looking like carbon fibre is winning here, but again, it's impossible to say until the resins have cured fully. We do seem to have some larger bubbles in there. Some larger imperfections which I'm not best happy about, but let's see if we can't cover them out. I think the dial is going to require a thicker coat of resin. Now, fortunately, this is a pouring resin rather than a laminating resin, so it is going to allow us to lay it a little bit thicker in one go. I always use a pouring resin for my finish coat, because it just lets you go that little bit thicker. I'm going to put that there to stop it running out the back, because that seems to be happening. Okay folks, so on the dial in I can just about see the fabric pattern coming through. On the carbon fibre, as you can see, it's pretty seriously strong. There really is very little substitute for carbon fibre. The glass looks like glass. It's gone silvery rather than going black. And the vinyl at the end is actually surprisingly good. It would never pass for real carbon fibre, but it looks surprisingly good. Okay guys, so the results of the experiment are in. The resin is cured, and I think it's pretty fair to say that there is no substitute for real carbon fibre. We come in close. This is the real carbon fibre. Let's see if I can get the focus here. There we go. As you can see, it plays with the light in a beautiful way. To the real carbon fibre, there's nothing quite like it. This is the dial in, which literally you can't see the twill pattern at all. It's, oh, focus again. Battery's going. Focus. Come on. So yeah, the dial doesn't even want to focus. So you can see it's not the greatest finish. You can't see the twill pattern, it just goes black. Not great. Actually really disappointed in that. The glass fibre, well you can see the twill pattern, but well it just looks like glass fibre. Nobody's going to mistake that for carbon fibre. And the vinyl actually held up quite well. The one that I thought was going to be the best replica for carbon fibre turned out to be the worst. And the one that I thought was going to be the worst replica for carbon fibre turned out to be the best fake one. Isn't that bizarre? I mean, it does have a certain little element of playing with the light, but nowhere to the same extent as the real thing. Look at that. Shimmers with the light. So yeah, the results are in. If we want the carbon fibre look, we've got two choices. We can go with the vinyl, which I think is a bit of a cheat, a bit of a fraud, so I'm not going to do that. Or we've got the carbon fibre. Now, we're trying to make a premium product here, so I'm not going to cut corners. We're going to go with the proper carbon fibre, even on the cases. Even though the cases don't require the stiffness, they just require the strength, I still think there's no substitute for the look of the actual carbon fibre, so that's what we're going to go with. The hell with the cost. Let's do it. So there you have it, guys. Literally, there is no substitute for actual carbon fibre. As you can see, this one is the carbon fibre, and it literally, you're just not going to get that look and that shimmer from any other material, really, I suppose. So carbon fibre it is, guys. The results speak for themselves, and the vinyl is sort of passable, but I don't like the grey sheen that it takes on. It's almost like a graphite, like not graphite, like a charcoal colour. Glass fibre is just glass fibre. And the dial-in, which looked to be really promising before the resin went on, just really turned out poor. I think what I'll do is I'll try one more experiment with, instead of putting the top coat of resin on, put the face coat underneath, lay the fabric on, and then layer up a couple of layers behind, because that's the way we'll be doing it in the moulds. So might as well do it that way on the test, get an accurate result. Listen guys, thanks for joining us. I know it was only a short video. It was just a little experiment, a little play around with materials to see what we could do. I think it was a successful experiment, and I think, I've taken a lot from it. Appreciate you joining us. There'll be a cutting edge video coming soon. Keep an eye out for it. Like and subscribe. Still, guys, the offer for a free t-shirt, one of these, still stands. Once we get the 100 followers, 2 of these t-shirts are being given away. Once we get the 1,000 followers, a free musical instrument is being given away. So like and follow, subscribe, comment, get all your friends to like and subscribe as well, because the sooner we get to that 100, the sooner you can have a t-shirt. Okay guys, thanks for joining us. It's been great having you here. Love you all. Peace out. Have a great weekend or a great week. I don't know when this is going up. Might be the week, might be the weekend. Just have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. As the old song says, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Turning the camera off. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink.